सबसे पहले मैं सबको प्रणाम करता हूँ और मैम मैं आपको भी प्रणाम करती हूँ। शुरू में ही कुछ भी मेरे से गलती होगा तो मैं आपको पहले ही क्षमा चाहता हूँ। और आप सब जानते हैं आज हमारा साथ है पद्मश्री और एसएन अवार्डी गुरुजी अरुणा महंती जी। मैं बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ मैम का पास में बहुत आभारी हूँ कि मेरे जैसा एक साधारण बोलने से मैम मेरा बात रखा, तो मैं सबका सामने मैं मैम को दोबारा प्रणाम करना चाहती हूँ कि और आज का सिचुएशन में जो है वो भी बहुत जल्दी ठीक हो जाए। मैं ये भी आप ये करता हूँ। तो आज हम मैम का साथ बात करेंगे, मैम का एकदम बचपन से आज तक मैम का जो जर्नी है लाइफ में, जो पूरा जिंदगी मैम ने अपना डांस का ऊपर बिताया है, पूरा डांस को अर्पित किया है और बहुत सारा गुरु, बहुत पद्मश्री, बहुत गुरु से मैम ने शिक्षा मिला है मैम को, सबका बारे में हम मैम थोड़ा बहुत जानेंगे, कोशिश करने की, क्योंकि टाइम बहुत शॉर्ट है, शॉर्ट टाइम में जितना हो सके। तो मैम मैं पहले जानना चाहता हूँ आपका बचपन, मतलब आपका फैमिली में कोई मतलब कलाकार थे या आप कैसे डांस में आपका इंटरेस्ट हुआ सीखना, अब आपका चाइल्ड का जो समय है उसको कुछ बताइए।
First of all, I would like to say namaskar to all the viewers who are kind of watching us or listening to us. First of all, I would like to say, Sudeep, you are an artist and I am an artist. When you asked me to come and share my life journey with you, it's also a matter of pride to me that I'm invited by an artist. I come from a very middle class family where my father was a writer and he had a theater group. So he was heading some of the professional theater groups, and he was a playwright. So his plays were staged by professional theater groups. So, and he was also a government servant, and we had just two-room, house where all of my six brothers and sisters, and my mother and my grandmother and my masi, all of us were staying. But most of the time, I had seen theater people staying in my house. We used to sleep on a chatai in my father's room, and rest of my rooms and extended rooms were taken by people from performing art, either from theater, music, or dance. In that context, I remember seeing Kerusar and Raghu Vaina, Sanjukta Panigrahi and all the musicians and people from literature and poets and writers and all of them. Then I actually first acted in my father's play as child artist. So I used to act in those plays, and those days during the play there were dance pieces to entertain people. Sometimes the dance pieces were kind of created for the play. But when I used to look at the dance more than the theater, probably I was attracted towards the dance. I used to copy them. I used to dance, copying them. I used to dance near the wings. And that's how probably someone noticed and told my father that she should learn dance, because she picks up dance like this and picks up the steps, and she's very good at it. So my father thought, okay, why not? But before I started learning dance, I first learned music. So my music teacher used to come home and I used to play harmonium. So I used to do sadhana, sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa and all that. And then I started singing. But when I was 8 years old, when I was introduced to dance by Guru Srinath Rao, and then probably my interest towards dance were overpowered my interest towards music. So I spent more time with dance and all that. And slowly, theater kind of stayed back, and music also kind of took a backseat, and I was more into dance. And like everyone, when we were young and when in that period, during that period, we loved to dance because We were appreciated by our friends and relatives and family, and the teachers and students in the schools and our classmates. And they used to clap and they used to say, "Oh, she's such a good dancer, she did a good job," and we were very happy with that. So that's our way of kind of falling in love with dance, because we used to see the happiness in our close people's eyes. So that was the inspiration. Slowly, and when I entered into the discipline part of it, when you have to Guru, after Srinath Raut, Guru Govinda Chandra Pal came for a year or so, and then Guru Gangadhar Pradhan started molding me like from a clay thing, and he tried to make me a kind of a statue. So with his guidance, and he was a very hard taskmaster, so I entered into a kind of a army discipline. So in the morning you get up and practice and you finish your studies, go to school, come back from the school, sleep for a while. You cannot go to play with your friends, you cannot ride bicycle, because if you fall down you will break your leg, so you can't dance. So with all the assumption and presumptions, so and then evening, because my father said whatever you have to do your study well, then only I'll allow you to dance and other activities you can do it. So I have to finish my studies, and 9:30 Guruji will come, Guru Gangadhar Pradhan. He'll come, and from 9:30 to 11, I'll practice every day. No Sundays, no Saturday, no nothing. So for our entire neighborhood, they know if it's 9:30, then I am practicing. Slowly, the group class of my Guruji started in my house with some girls from my neighborhood. 3, 4, 5 of them. So the group classes started from there, and subsequently it branched out and it became a big tree called Odisha Dance Academy. So from a solo dancer, I went into the group setup, and all along I did solo, but I was very much part of my Guru's repertory group. And I helped Guruji, and Guruji is a different way of teaching and training a dancer to make him or her a kind of a full-fledged dancer. Because for every composition, he'll say, come and sit there. Listen to how the music is formed. Come and sit there when the script is discussed. Come and sit there with the Sanskrit scholar. Come and sit there when an Odia song is interpreted. So then we never used to like it. Why Guruji asking when he will do the composition, dance composition, we will be there. But why he's asking us to sit when the music is done, when the script is developed and all these discussions happening? And but now I realize, when I look back, those are the golden phase of my life where I learned so much by being in those compositions, by being with the musicians, and I exactly know frame by frame how music, which is the soul of the dance, how it is created.
थैंक यू मैम। मैम आपने बहुत गुरु का पास डांस सीखा, जैसे गुरु केलिचरण महापात्र, गुरु पंकज चरण दास, गुरु संयुक्ता पाणिग्राही, सोनाल मान सिंह गुरु के पास। तो उसी टाइम का बारे में आप उसी जो आपने अपना गुरु से सीखा है, थोड़ा कुछ हम लोग का पास
all my life I was kind of singularly trained, molded, created. Sudeep, you can mute your. Can you mute?
No, mute. No.
So the sound is coming. So all my life I was singularly trained by my Guruji, Guru Gangadhar Pradhan. And he was truly in the sense of a guru, because he didn't only teach me dance, he actually taught us what is discipline in life. How dance is not your profession, it is your passion. And how to fall in love with the passion. The way he used to, dream of making Odisha a place for festivals. He's the creator of festivals in Odisha. And if it's a happening place, because of all the festivals, Guru Gangadhar Pradhan single-handedly have contributed a lot. He's created history. So, with nothing in hand, he could dream of making big festivals on the lake and things like that. So he really knows how to think big. So he taught us that you should have dreams in your eyes so that you will make it happen one day. But with all this rigorous practice, every day 4 hours practice you have to do, and all that stamina building, and the body technique and abhinaya and all that, my Guruji was very close to, and he was the student of Guru Pankaj Charan Das. He worked with, he got scholarship and started working under Guru Kelucharan Mahapatra. And Minatri Mishra, Dr. Minatri Mishra was the principal of Utkal Sangeet Mahavidyalaya, where he was a student. He is the product of Utkal Sangeet Mahavidyalaya. And Guru Deva Prasad Das was also a teacher there in Utkal Sangeet Mahavidyalaya. So I remember through my Guruji, I made all this, kind of masters, great masters, who are we call the foundation of Odissi, Guru Deva Prasad Das, Guru Pankaj Charan Das, and Guru Kelucharan Mahapatra. And I remember I have, danced in front of Guru Deva Prasad Das and in front of Dr. Minatri Mishra. And we were very fortunate that those gurus have blessed us, have touched our life in different ways. But Guru Pankaj Charan Das and my Guru, Guru Gangadhar Pradhan, were very close. So in almost all compositions of Guru Pankaj Charan Das, Ganga Sir was part of it. So that is how Guru Pankaj Charan Das came into our life in a big way. So in Odisha Dance Academy, all of us, we have done all his choreographies, whatever choreography, because Guru Gangadhar Pradhan was a very good Mardala player. So Ganga Sir used to give musical accompaniment, and in composition used to help Guru Pankaj Charan Das. So that way, whatever new compositions Guruji used to do, Guru Pankaj Charan Das, we used to learn it and we used to perform it either solo or in group, the group compositions. And then I came in contact with Srimati Sanjukta Panigrahi. We call her Sanju Nani, and she's really a big sister. And she, somehow I got a lot of love and warmth and goodwill from her. And since my Guruji was very close to her, and he was accompanying Mardala with Guru Sanjukta Panigrahi, so he was extremely fond of her and he was very close to her. So one day he took me and said, Ki Nani, I am teaching Aruna, but I want her to also learn something from you, your item, your compositions, because I want you to understand how you think, how you perform, how you execute technique, how you deliver, how carry it forward. So that's how Sanju Nani started working with me. I learned 4 items, not only items, I kind of got the insight of her life, how committed she is, how hardworking she is, how deep she goes to understand something. Those are beautiful days and beautiful memory. I remember when Sanju Nani, in her last days when she was in the hospital, Sunflower Nursing Home, I went there, and she is the one who told me, why are you working in, I did my master's in sociology and I was working with a UNICEF added project. And she said, Ki, there are so many girls who are dancing, also working. So dance is their hobby. But I want you, being an Odia girl, don't you think you should take up dance as a profession? After me, who will take it forward as professional dancer? So I came back and I talked to my in-laws, who are equally, very supportive about it. My father was a, theater person, and he had this background, and I had seen all these artists and, great theater people, cinema people, and music dance people in my house. But my in-laws, the way they have supported me, first day I came into their life, they said, go, dance is a sadhana. So go and enjoy, do it, and whatever, you have to put in effort, you do that, because we are there. Don't think about the house and, every day how to run the house. Ultimately, you have to do it one day, but now is the time you should kind of invest time there. So it's very rarely one dancer is so fortunate to have this kind of inspiration. But when Sanju Nani told me, I came home and talked to my in-laws and my husband. My father-in-law said, she is right. dance is such a vast ocean. If you want to dive into it, you need lot more time than, doing work and, giving 1 or 2 hours a day to dance will not be, actually won't do justice to it. So then, I left my work, and then I uh, full-fledged, I gave my time to Odisha Dance Academy, to my Guruji, and to the students of Odisha Dance Academy, and to myself also, to my dance. In this process, I came in contact with Sanjanani, and then I, Sonal ji got married and came to our family, and she was married to Sri Lalit Mansingh. And so I knew her. So subsequently, in the later phase, when I met her, I was so impressed with her intellect, with knowledge, and her command over Sanskrit literature, and the way she interprets dance, the way she looks at dance. So I attended few of her workshops and somehow established a bond. And I got a lot of blessings, and kind of um, um, I I was completely inspired by her. So that's how my journey has touched all these people, and I really think I'm very, very fortunate that I met some very interesting people in life. Like, as senior dancers, I kind of I'm totally kind of very, very appreciative about Madhavi Mudgal, the way she conducts herself, the way she carries herself as a teacher, the way she contributes, and her compositions, especially Pallavis and all that, it touches me and it stays in my mind. Similarly, from other dance forms, also I'm greatly influenced by, some of the great dancers like Padma Subramaniam and Chitra Vishweswaran and Lila Samson, and even my co-dancers who are with me. I'm greatly, greatly kind of influenced by Sarmila Viswas, by Jayanti Kasi, Aditi Mangal Das, Priti Patel, so many dancers from other discipline. But whenever I watch them, apart from the great masters like Maharaji and Kumudini Lakhia ji, whom I worship, and of course our Odissi gurus, they are every day in the morning we offer silent prayer at their feet. But all these people, when I see Kumudini ji's compositions, I said, "Oh my God, is it humanly possible?" So it's kind of, it's the windows after windows and doors after doors. It's just opening every day. We are seeing new things, and we are greatly motivated and inspired, and we learn even from the youngsters.
थैंक यू मैम। मैम, आपने बहुत कोरियोग्राफी किया, देश में भी और विदेश में भी, तो उस कोरियोग्राफी के बारे में आप थोड़ा बताइए ना।
See, choreography is something my Guruji has kind of told us. When in Odisha Dance Academy, we have 10 batches of students. So every batch, when we do annual function, the respective teachers of that batch will have to do some compositions, small compositions for them. So they will perform that on stage. So in Odisha Dance Academy, each dancer is a teacher. Each performer is a teacher, and that teacher has to choreograph something for that batch of students. So, doing some composition is kind of a part of our training course. So that way we always try our hand, whether bad or good or something really, kind of amazing. It's not that. We just try. And our biggest critic, are our own teachers and students and performer. They'll say, "Oh, this is not good. This is not bad. This is." So we have a self-assessment and evaluation process. So I remember that I was kind of doing a leg dem for school children and college children, college students. They said, "Ki we don't want to see Odissi, or in that matter any classical form." I said, "Why?" They said, "Ki it's sometimes it's very repetitive. Even today, when we are coming to see, either you will do Durga or Shiva or Krishna, and we know about it in our books or in our storybooks, or from our grandmother or things like that. So, and sometimes we do not even see any relevance to our lives. So that actually, kind of, I said, okay, then for another, kind of a speak make a session, I said, I'll do something which will connect from past to present to future. So I kind of from past, I did something on Draupadi, Mahabharata and Draupadi. And present, I said, what are you studying in your syllabus? They said, oh, these are the stories. So I picked up Cinderella from there. So I kind of choreographed it. I said, these are experimentation using Odissi technique. Then at that time, it was in 1999, and there was super cyclone in Odisha. I thought, if I do something, a competition on that present situation, present issues, then they'll be able to understand. It will be very relevant to their lives, and understanding will be a little better. So I did a composition on that. That was my first kind of a major group production I did, called Srishti or Pralay. And when I did that, my Guruji somehow didn't like it. He said, what is this? This is very contemporary. This is looking very contemporary. This sounds very contemporary. There are so many Radha Krishna themes. Why don't you do one? A choreography on Radha Krishna, and medieval poets have written so many songs. In Sangeet Sagar, you will find 600 songs. So why don't you just take someone? What is this? I said, yeah, we will do definitely, and we are doing it. But if I'm doing this, just have a look at it. And if you don't like it, I won't present it. So he looked at it, he looked at the whole rehearsal and said, let me think about it. And then he said, okay, since you have done it, present it on stage. So we presented that. And after, we presented it for the first time, people probably came and told him, it is very, beautiful, good, and they liked it and things like that. So he didn't tell me, because he thinks that it should not be demonstrated. So he told someone that her choreography is really nice. After that, he himself had said, okay, here there is a program. Why don't you do Srishti and Pralay? So like that, I got the stamp of approval from him. And since then, I always do compositions on Gita Govinda and medieval poetry on different Puranic themes. And what I would like to also do with my think tank, in my think tank, there are so many other people. I always kind of try to see from their point of view. So my think tank is made of, some connoisseurs, some scholars, and some poets, and some literary people, and the poet Kedar Mishra, and the Sanskrit scholar Nityananda Mishra, Dr. Shubhas Pani, and Kirod Patnaik, and some principals, some school, who take a lot of interest in dance and music. I also kind of ask them, whenever I develop a script, I sit with my, the team who do my scholarly work. Then I take the kind of my script to all these people. One is there who does lighting, and one is one friend of mine who does sketches and things like that. So all of them are part of my think tank. So I take that to my think tank, and we always discuss it very kind of, they are very strict, and they give their opinion very strongly from the audience point of view, from the dancer's point of view, from the layman's point of view. And, some people who are kind of connoisseurs, they look at dance differently. But when you are performing in front of the 5,000 audience, probably, they look for something different, the communication to be different, or the themes to be presented much more simpler way. And how, if I'm taking an abstract concept, how it should be presented. If I am doing a lot of drama, how that should be presented. If I am doing a pure dance, whether that should be based on a theme and things like that. So there are 10 different things one can think of, because I do not like to be stereotyped. I always challenge myself. I always think that, I am not, intelligent enough. I am not gifted enough. I am not creative enough. I have to learn so much. And whenever I see something, and it touches my heart. I said, oh my God, why can't I think like that? I'm like a sponge, and I'm like a small child even today, when I'm kind of, now I'm kind of uh, uh, elderly citizen. Then also I always think that I have so much to know, I have so much to learn, and whatever I did, it was just a tip of the iceberg. It's kind of a whole ocean is there. I'm just a drop of water in that.
थैंक यू मैम। मैम आपने आज के जनरेशन में या अभी समाज में जो बहुत सारा प्रॉब्लम है, आपने नारी को ऊपर बहुत सारा काम किया है, जैसे आपको द्रौपदी को लेके या बहुत सारा टॉपिक को लेके आपने बहुत काम किया है, बहुत अच्छे किया है। तो उसका बारे में आपको कैसे मन में आया कि ये द्रौपदी को लेके या ब्रिहन्नला कमी को लेके जो आज का जनरेशन
See, I'm deeply in love with our mythology, because in our mythology, the dance is everything about a particular region. In that particular region, the lifestyle, how we think, our, the sculpture, our literature, our music, our language, our Veshabhusha, the Aharya, and the theater, and everything is all about our way of life. The way of life is the foundation of performing art. So if you are thinking of Odisha, in Odisha, the Jagannath is there. So Jagannath consciousness is what binding all Odiyas or Odiyas with the rest of the world. We think everything through the eyes of Jagannath. So, and then we have, the Konark temple. We have, in Bhubaneswar, we have 108 Shiva temple. So all these are, tremendous story potentials and historical importance, and how the life has kind of the journey of Odia life from in last 2000 years. All that are great resources for a dancer, performing artist to take it and be inspired with it and present it with your interpretation, how you look at it. I always say life is like a prison. In the prism, in a way you are positioned, through that when you look at life, it looks different. Similarly, one particular song, if it is taken by 5 artists, it can be interpreted, reinterpreted differently, and it will give you different taste, different variety. So in that context, so whenever there is a kind of a social issue, I always think that these kind of issues are not now. It was there, like 2000 years back or 10,000 years back. If I can connect and establish and kind of learn something from there, which will be our kind of, will lead our path to the future. So our future, through performing art, we are always telling us the human emotions, life, and how we are connected with the different relationship, and how with this relationships we are creating this world around us, and the world around us is what we are contributing to, and we are also getting energy from this world which we see around us. And as a responsible citizen, we are, through performing art, we are also talking, we are also giving our way of thinking to make this world a beautiful place to live, to make this society a beautiful place. When we are talking of Draupadi, we are talking about the strength of the character of a woman. Today, when we are talking of Nirbhaya, we are also talking of the, yes, in spite of whatever has happened in her life, she never lost the zest for life. That's the strength. The hurdles will come, the challenges will come, but how we will overpower that. So we get our inspiration from all the great women we see around, all the great men who stood by women. They also inspire us to move ahead. So always we learn something from these issues. So I like to do compositions on these issues and connect it to the past, present, and create our future, so that we are like parampara is, kind of carrying the, param aparam. So we are carrying the tradition. So I always think that whenever I do any composition, that is definitely connected to the past, and I'm living it today, and I'm living it, behind for my next generation. So it is connected, it is linked, and it is a journey. It probably have, kind of stops and things like that, but it doesn't discontinue, it continues.
थैंक यू मैम। मैम आपने मेल डांसर का लेके भी बहुत सारा रिसर्च किया है, जो उनका जो स्ट्रक्चर है उसको लेके भी, और आपने इवोल्यूशन ऑफ ओडिसी डांस इन द पोस्ट पास्ट ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस को लेके भी बहुत सारा काम किया है, तो उसका बारे में थोड़ा हम लोग को बताइए ना मैम।
See, when Odisha Dance Academy started, my Guruji Ganga sir, he was a Gotipur dancer. So when he came and learned Odissi and he became an Odissi dancer, I believe Dr. Minati Mishra and Guru Pankaj Charandas, Gurudev Prasad, all of them they used to say that Govinda sir and Ganga sir, they were extremely good dancers. They were extremely good dancers. But what happened? They relegated themselves to be a teacher. So that trained us. We were performed, we were presented at the forefront. So they became all teachers. So when Ganga sir created Odisha Dance Academy, and he started bringing Gotipur dancer after they were 13, 14, obviously they kind of transitioned themselves to Odissi, learn Odissi. So when they started learning Odissi in Odisha Dance Academy, Guruji said, I do not want them to be teachers only. I want them to be performer. So he started looking at them and groomed them and kind of gave them hope that you can be good performer. At that time, Guru Kelucharan Mahapatraji, he started performing. He started performing very late. So he started performing and people loved his performance on stage. So the idea that on stage people only love to see female dancers were slightly kind of coming down, and kind of male dancers were accepted. But it was not accepted the way the female dancers were wanted by the organizers to perform. So my Guruji started presenting them as solo dancers and in group presentation also. So there were times where one production or one item was choreographed only for male body. So that gave me a kind of a cue, and there is my kind of Guru Bayan, Sila Mahapatra. She and me, we started doing research on male representation in sculpture. So because everyone said if you go to Konark temple, you will see all female dancers, like poses of female dancers, even the musicians are female dancers. So that made us think that why, if there are millions of motifs on sculpture about the female poses and dancers and musicians, why not male? Then we realized, we talked to many people, we read, the people who were making those statues or the sculptor, they were all male, they were not female. So their imagination of their naikas, or the kind of the way they used to kind of visualize their kind of loved ones, was recreated on stone. But 6th century temple in Bhubaneswar, Parsurameswara, there is a series of male dancers poses with different musical instruments are there on the temple walls. So then we started kind of doing research, how many male poses are there on sculpture. And then we started kind of coordinating with the Odissi grammar and Odissi poses, and the bhangis, and how the male body should hold and where the gravitation should be. And that analysis of the technique happened. And since we had so many male dancers, so we used to have male dancers pose in front of the sculpture. We used to take pictures and we were analyzing the pose. And it was aesthetically very pleasing. And I think, the dancers are not they don't belong to any gender. They are Sutradhar. So they can do male character, they can do female character, because we are only the performer, we are the artist, we are the kalakar. So it was very interesting to do that study and kind of prepare a presentation during the male Purush Ang in Odissi. That seminar happened long time back. It was organized by Central Sangeet Natak Academy, New Delhi, where I had presented this paper.
मैम, आप जिस टाइम में सीखा है डांस, आपका टाइम में जब आप बचपन में थे, आपने बहुत सारा गुरु का पास सीखा, अभी आप सिखाते हो, तो आपका टाइम और अभी का जो टाइम है उसमें कुछ चेंजेस है, या आप जिस टाइम पे जैसे सीखा अभी भी आपका स्टूडेंट ऐसे ही सीखता है, या थोड़ा बहुत चेंज हुआ है?
थोड़ा बहुत तो चेंजेस हुआ है. In our time, the pressure of the study was there, always there. And my father used to say, if you are good, you'll be good in everything. You'll have to good in studies, you'll have to good in sports, you have to good in this and that. Because whoever is kind of successful in whatever she or he does, because you have perfect coordination, concentration, and you are focused. So that's the main kind of area of importance then. But we used to be at awe with our Guruji and his work and art form and dance and like that. I remember till 2 o'clock in the night, the rehearsal will be going on. And our parents, they don't have the, courage to tell my teacher that, no, it's 2 o'clock, she can't dance. It cannot happen like that. As long as my teacher is sitting there and doing something, all the dancers are there. Slowly, because it is not safe. And then the studies, the importance of studies is now measured by how much mark you are scoring. 90% is not good enough. You have to have 95. You have got only 95. Why not 98? How will you get, admission in good college? So this wasn't there. So now, since it is a very cutthroat and the mark and the admission is so difficult, so the parents are telling us that dance is not as important as the studies. So since they are not going to be a professional dancer, so 1 hour or 2 hours or maximum 3 hours a week should be good enough. So this wasn't there. So now it is there. But we are also learning to adapt the situation and bring out the best. In Odisha Dance Academy, one thing we follow even today, one might say it is a Purana Khayal, it's a very old school of thought, but minimum one class has to be 2 hours. For any batch of student, it has to be 2 hours, 4 hours, definitely. And for repertory dancers, 4 days a week, and each day it has to be 2 to 2.5 hours if you want to be a repertory dancer. So we have kind of done that mandatory. And with a folded hand, I always tell them that your school teacher who are teaching you, or like I tell parents, that when you are dealing with teachers from the school, you have, you are respecting everything, the directions are coming from the school. Please don't bring your child to my school if you do not respect me or my teachers or my timing. The time, 10 years time I have given to your teacher, can you give it back? You cannot. Okay, she will not become a professional dancer, but she can be a dancer all her life. She can continue with her dance. She may practice, for herself. She may teach, or she may perform once in a while, or she may go to see programs and appreciate other dancers, encourage. Whatever profession she is in, probably financially, economically, you can contribute to good schools, good dancers, and encourage them financially, give them, support them, so that they'll become good dancers. Somehow be connected with dance. Because my time, when I'm giving you, I'm not giving my time only, I'm giving my heart, I'm giving my soul, I'm giving my mind, I'm giving my love, I'm giving my touch in molding you, shaping you, and promoting you. Respect that. If nothing, suppose you have become a very good doctor, you don't have time, but you can tell us, Didi, whenever I have time, I'll come and practice. And if you want to give me 1 or 2 classes, once in a month also, I would love to teach. Or when I'm doing a production or I'm doing a festival, let them come and, kind of help us doing the rehearsals or something like that. Be connected with dance. So that is how we have to create dancers who are passionate about it. Not only get appreciated, because if I'm a dancer, I'll come on TV. If I'm a dancer, my photo will be in the newspaper. If I'm a dancer, then the glamour and the name and the fame and money is still not there. So money is never and kind of something which draws people into dance. But I just want them to enjoy dance. I want them to fall in love with dance, because everyone is not created to, climb the steps and be there to become a kind of a milestone. But all of us can be, like squirrels. When Ramachandra was going and making that bridge to go to Lanka, there were monkeys, there were bears, but there were also squirrels who used to contribute, taking some sands and kind of putting it there. So all of us are like a big army of dancers. The art form is great. We are only serving the art form.
मैम जब एक मेल डांसर और फीमेल डांसर जब आप टीचिंग करते हैं, मतलब उन लोग को जब सिखाते हैं, तो किससे इजी है? मतलब थोड़ा बहुत ज्यादा परेशान मतलब टाइम लगता है, किसको बहुत थोड़ा बहुत जल्दी से वो सीख जाता है?
ऐसे कुछ नहीं है. I do not look at as the male dancer or female dancer. In front of me, there are students. When they learn something from me, we have kind of, when we are teaching youngsters, that's a different methodology. When we are teaching, first year, second year, third year, it's a different methodology. It's a playway method. When, the students belonging to age group of, 12 to 16, 18, it's a different age group where you kind of teach them through known to unknown. So they'll explore the unknown through known. But when they are above 20 or 22 and they're approaching 25, the methodology is very different. They are like your friend. You have to establish a different kind of a relationship to teach dance to them. So there you can tell them, this is what I think and this is what I have created. You take it and kind of internalize it, assimilate that in your system and do it, and come back and tell me what different way you would like to present it. If it's an abhinay, and if it's a pure dance, we're doing pallavi and things like that, then I always look at it. Okay, someone is very tall. Okay, you should sit little more. Your trivanga should be little more. And if someone is short, I said you can get away with, halka sa, you're sitting in the position, but deflect your torso more and hip to the other side more, so that your curve will be a little more sharp. So like that, it will be individual attention you have to give to each dancer to bring out the best in their body. You cannot have a general principle there. But when it's abhinaya, you can give them different themes. and you can give them different characters so that you can see that how they play with that. But before you teach them dance, dance is not something, when you are doing abhinaya, especially in classical dance format, without realizing, without understanding the character, without, if you're not a thinking dancer, you will look very mechanical and you look very robotic. You will just learn abhinaya like you learn Pallavi or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's very, kind of a method which can be productive in a general way probably. But if you want to bring out the, your own statement of the dancer, then you have to work with them individually and try what are the strengths and limitations and try to bring out the core experience and core understanding of the character. So that way I always think whoever is there in front of me, whether a male dancer and female dancer, it's beautiful to watch when they carry it forward, when they carry the theme. There is the integrity in the dance, and there is the link of the body and the body kinetics, and how one one probably is very kind of athletic and jumps and does things, but one can be very lyrical with the body movements. So each strength is different. So when you are looking at someone, I would suggest, and I always think, that you should not compare him or her with another dancer. You should enjoy that, whether he is a good dancer or not a good dancer. But when you are looking at, probably I'm looking at Sudeep and I'm thinking of Pradeep, then I'm not doing justice to Sudeep. So while teaching also, I always think that. I never think that, okay, he does it very well and he's a poor dancer. No, he does it well because that's probably his strength. And let me work with this one more and try to bring out the best in him as much as I can, because I'm a human being. I have my limitations as a teacher also.
मैम कोई भी पोस्चर हो, मतलब एक फीमेल और मेल जब करते हैं तो उसमें थोड़ा बहुत मतलब उसको ध्यान में रखना चाहिए. हम एक मेल डांसर कर रहे हैं तो उसका जो पोस्चर होता है, एक फीमेल डांसर उसका जो पोस्चर होता है, उसमें कुछ डिफरेंस मतलब ये ध्यान में रखना चाहिए क्या? ये हम मेल है या हम फीमेल है?
ध्यान में तो रखना चाहिए, ध्यान में रखना चाहिए. It's not about male and female. Even you are dealing with 10 female dancers also, you have to keep that in your mind. Because I remember when I was talking to Guru Kelucharan Mahapatraji, and my father produced a movie called Sri Krishna Raslila. It was probably the first movie, it is probably the first movie based on a musical theatre of Sri Krishna and Radha. So Guru Kelucharan Mahapatraji was the choreographer. And when we were working on that shooting, and the entire project was kind of going on for 2 years. So I got to learn a lot from him. And in that 2 years, when he was choreographing and we were working, and then we were going on the in front of the camera, and there's so many takes and retakes and things like that, it was Herculean task for us, because we were not used to cinema as a medium. But we had a lovely time with Guru Kelucharan Mahapatra. So he was looking at me, and I was doing Dheera Samire. So he said, he corrected me. He said, here you do this, here you do that, and all that. So then I watched in another occasion, another dancer doing Dheera Samire. So I looked at Sir. I said, Sir, you taught me this. He said, yeah, but with her body, with her ability, with her, whatever strength, I thought this is looking nice on her body and this is looking nice on your body. So a creator mind always kind of, it revisits, it recreates, and it today, if a guru creates something and after 2 years he sees that work, he'll make changes. So it is a part of the creative process. So when there are different female body, like I said, someone short, someone fat, someone kind of tall, someone kind of very thin, and So different proportions and someone's ability also, how one executes it. So, I'm probably not very thin, probably I can jump very high, but a very thin person also, might not be able to jump that high. So it is ability also, ability, capability, and limitation and strength. But when I have male dancers and female dancers in front of me, when I do a choreography, I'll have to judge according to me, of course. One may differ with me in looking at it, that what, as a person, how, when you carry something like a male dancer, she's doing बाजूची सही बाजा रे तो ना रे ब्रज बाजा re, like that. When I'm teaching everyone, I'm telling them that, everyone is talking about you very badly. They are saying that you are exchanging your eyes with her. So this mannerism, I might do, that how you look at it. But one of my male student can do it. That, how you look at her. So whatever looks nice on him, the way he is presenting, or the way he is kind of making that his own, which looks nice aesthetically, it looks much better than only copying me. Then I would always like to have, I'll always give him that freedom to express it, which will look nice, instead of exactly copying me, and it may not look very appropriate. That appropriateness, which Sonalji always said, auchitya, that line of auchitya, or the appropriateness, can be only determined by the dancer in consultation with the gurus. Guru can advise, Guru can lead, Guru can tell them, yeah, these are very many ways, but you choose whatever you think appropriate. By that, you will create thinking dancers. But sometimes, what we do, or some gurus do, which I try not to do it, I check always myself. I have done this, you better do that. You don't have to think. We tell them, you don't have to think. It is done by great masters, you don't have to think. But the great masters, they have never said that whatever I have done, I am the God, that's, it cannot be touched. No, he himself has done it and told us, you change. Change is the norm. Change is the basic principle of any performing. Unmute.
सॉरी मैम, सॉरी मैम। हम लोग देखेंगे, हम लोग का हिस्ट्री है या माइथोलॉजी है या बहुत सारा स्कल्पचर है, उसमें मेल या फीमेल मतलब इक्वल है, डांस बॉडी स्ट्रक्चर हो या एनीथिंग, बट नाउ दे प्रेजेंट आई थिंक लिटिल बिट, बहुत कम मेल डांसर, मतलब डे बाय डे आई थिंक बहुत कम मेल डांसर जो डांस सीखना चाहते हैं या उसको बाई प्रोफेशन लेना चाहते हैं। तो उसका कुछ रीजन या आप कुछ बताइए ना, मतलब क्यों ऐसा है? क्योंकि हमारा कला
इतना अच्छा है। You will see a change, a very big change. In our school, I have more numbers of male dancers in my repertory unit than female dancers, because we have a Gotipur unit, and Gotipur dancers, they are coming to learn Odissi, and they are coming into this, kind of education system with the focus to become a professional dancer. So we have a group of very committed dancers. But the situation, when you think of life, the basic line is that you have to look after your family, you have to look after yourself, You have to, earn a livelihood. So with dance, uh, sometimes the dancers are discouraged, sometimes they are scared, sometimes they do not have the, strength to fight and struggle. So that is why there is a lot of, they will probably spend 10 lakhs rupees, become an engineer, and then probably will not get a good job. They'll manage with whatever job that will come on their way, but they are scared to take up dance as a profession. Because to be a dancer, only your training will not make you a dancer. You have to have a heart which throbs for dance. You have to be in love. So once you are in love with something, and when you do not get opportunity to perform, you do not get opportunity where you are appreciated, you do not get opportunity to earn money to sustain yourself, and you go into depression, and you think that why am I here? So, today I always ask my students that what you like to be. They said, Appa, the gupchup, you know what gupchup is all about, right? The puchkas. Is that the puchka wala is earning at least, 500 rupees per day. So he's earning 15,000. But we have spent almost 15 years learning dance. Neither we can become the gupchup wala, nor we can, getting the satisfaction of being a dancer. So I always tell them when they come to us, I said, are you ready to struggle? Are you ready to be happy in spite of the struggle? Are you ready to smile on stage? Very well knowing that because of the COVID situation, probably next month you will not have enough to eat. So in Odisha Dance Academy, we have become a family. If we have, enough money for everyone to have just basic necessities, then we will spend it on that. No one will spend it on luxury or comfort. We'll have to look at the basic things now when the situation is so kind of tense. But we promise that we will hold each other hand, and we will leave. We will not let anyone, kind of go discouraged and leave dance. So that is how I have started this Udayaraga series of dance festival, because I want them to, the series is created so that they will practice and perform, and they will see that themselves on screen, and their family, their friends, and there will be rasikas who would like to also see them. So that is the motivation to leave, to be connected with dance, because all my male dancers, they have gone home to their respective villages, and there hardly they can practice. It is not very conducive to practice. And some people, when they need money, they're probably working here and there, not connected with dance. That actually, it pained my heart. I said, no, I have to do something where, they have to practice. They should look forward to, okay, he has to perform next month. Then he'll be practicing this month. He knows that he's recording or he's go on live. So like that, they'll be connected with dance. And through that, if they are getting some money, they will actually, they'll be proud of the fact that I've earned this money with dignity through my dance. So it is nourishing art and artist. That is why I have started whatever little money we had in our institution. No one is going to come forward to give us any money. So whatever savings little bit here and there we had, and then a very, very, kind of another organization in USA, Indo-American Association, Houston, they also volunteered themselves to help artists and nourish the art at this time. So they collaborated with us. So we have started this festival in July. We are continuing till December. So that's one way of, kind of embracing the artist and art community, and saying that we share each other's pain and each other's happiness, each other's joy.
मैम एक डांसर को डांस का थ्योरी जानना बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट होता है क्या? मतलब थ्योरी डांस
या
मैम ऐसे
बोलो
बोलिए, आप बोलिए मैम, आप बोलिए.
No, as you asked a very good question, that without theory, only practical will make you a good dancer, no doubt, because dance is all about observation, imitation, mimetic expression, and understanding of the relationship and emotions of human beings or the nature and the total universe and the cosmos. But like two sides of a coin, theory, practical are the two sides of a coin to give you knowledge. Like if you do not study about Odisha, about its region, about its history, about its handloom, about its handicraft, about its weather, about its language, about its flora, fauna, and the sculpture and the architecture, all that, how will you know about Odisha? Similarly, if you do not know about dance, that where it comes from, how it evolved, with what it has evolved, during what periods it got evolved, and what has contributed in each period, and what are how Saivism, Vaishnavism, Jainism, and Buddhism has kind of helped dance to grow and got its visibility, and where it is kind of stored as kind of archived, or it is kind of we are drawing our resources from, if we do not know. And the sastras, what are sastras? In sastras, during that time, they have codified the norms of the society, the values of the society, how things happen, and what are the principles of things to happen in a particular way, the philosophy, all that has been written in the Shastra. If you read that and you apply that in your life now, then only like science theory. Someone has done the experimentation, like Newton talked about gravitation, and that other scientists applied and got some new theory, and that is applied in different, while creating different machines by different people. They have applied that. So always knowledge is something like also is passed on from one generation to another generation. That is called theory for us, that what has been given to us by our great gurus and their great gurus and their great gurus and scholars and the munis and rishis, it has been passed on to us as the great reservoir of knowledge. So if we do not have that, then it will be not deep. Your understanding will not be deep. It will be very superficial. Once it is superficial, then you will also feel that that doesn't give you joy, that doesn't give you fulfillment, that doesn't give you kind of, I did something, really touched me. If you are not happy with what you are doing, and that realization doesn't take you to a greater height where you can understand and can feel the divinity, then you will not be able to touch the audience. If you do not touch the audience, the art is not communicated. When art is not communicated, it is rejected by the audience. When it is rejected, the art form is rejected, not the artist. Suppose I have gone to America and I performed Odissi and I did such a bad job. The next time those people, if they hear that another Odissi dancer is there, they will not buy tickets and not come to see. So we carry a huge responsibility of understanding the art form, doing with our best. I cannot, the best, good, all these are very relative terms. If I say I'm the best dancer, I'm such a wonderful dancer, people come to see me, people are so kind of overwhelmed when they see my program. I think it is very unfair. It doesn't do justice to the art form or to other dancers. You can only do this much. This is your ability to do your best. You are presenting your best. Let people say that whatever they got the best thing. It is always, but one artist, the artist which was gone deep, she or he always does things for himself, herself, for her own joy, contentment, happiness, and that internal journey is very, very essential as you grow, as you move up, and you go to a place where you become a teacher to other people. They are looking at you to understand what is that self inward journey. So that is kind of little when you go up and you become mature with all your knowledge and wisdom. But an artist is a student all his or her life. Till the last day, she can learn something which she didn't know before. And then and there she said, oh my God, I didn't know this is so beautiful. So one should have that kind of, I think, always have that inquisitiveness, curiosity, and the hungry for knowledge should be there.
मैम अभी जो एक ना मतलब मेरा एक ज्यादा नहीं है, फिर भी मैंने जब बचपन में था तो हर समय एक तो मतलब बहुत लोग सुनने में, मुझे क्षमा कर देना, जो जेलसी बोल के एक वर्ड है आजकल बहुत सारा है। दूसरा बात है, कोई भी कलाकार हो या कोई भी आर्टिस्ट हो, जैसे छोटा बड़ा को रेस्पेक्ट करना चाहिए, ऐसे बड़ा भी छोटा को आदर करना चाहिए, कोई भी डांस फॉर्म में हो, कोई भी क्षेत्र में हो। और जब कोई भी प्रोग्राम होता है, तो मैं मणिपुरी डांसर हूँ, इसका मतलब ये नहीं मैं सिर्फ मणिपुरी डांस देखूंगा, मैं कथक, भरतनाट्यम, ओडिसी, कोई भी डांस फॉर्म हो मैं वो देखूंगा और वो कलाकार को मैं अप्रिशिएट करूंगा। हाँ, आपने बहुत अच्छा किया, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा। चाहे मुझे अच्छा नहीं भी लगा तो मैं ऐसा बोल सकता हूँ आपका डांस अच्छा था, लेकिन और भी थोड़ा बेटर हो सकता था। लेकिन आजकल ऐसे कोई कोई बोला तुम्हारा डांस बिल्कुल गंदा है, तुम्हारा डांस कुछ नहीं है। और दूसरा बात है, बहुत अच्छा अच्छा कलाकार है, कोई फैमिली सपोर्ट नहीं करता है, या कोई अपना समाज जो है वो सपोर्ट नहीं करता है, या कोई 30 साल सीखने का बाद ना उसको स्टेज मिला है, ना उस कुछ नहीं मिला उसको, तो डिप्रेशन में आ जाता है। लेकिन एक आर्टिस्ट या एक कलाकार हर समय दूसरे कलाकार को हेल्प करना चाहिए, नॉट मनी हेल्प, उसको साइकोलॉजिकल या मेंटल। हाँ, हर कोई अच्छा नहीं होता है, लेकिन उसका मन में है हम सीखने का, या वो ट्राई कर रहा है। लेकिन दैट नाउ एट प्रेजेंट बहुत कम है जो आर्टिस्ट को अप्रिशिएट करता है, या जो सही काम कर रहा है कोई भी क्षेत्र में हो, चाहे कथक में, चाहे भरतनाट्यम में, चाहे उड़ीसा का भी क्षेत्र में, उसको अप्रिशिएट करना चाहिए उसको। हाँ, आपने बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हो और भी आगे करो, ये बहुत कम बोलते हैं मतलब आगे भी शायद पास में बोलता है, लेकिन बैक में जाके या किसी भी कोई बहुत कम है आजकल। शायद मैंने देखा, मेरा ये गलती भी हो सकता है, तो मैं आपसे कुछ जानना चाहता हूँ इसका बारे में।
सुदीप, ये तो ह्यूमन नेचर के ऊपर निर्भर करता है कि हाउ वन बिहेव्स। आप म्यूट कर सकते हैं क्योंकि एक साउंड आ रहा है। ये डिपेंड करता है कि आप कैसे ट्रीट करते हो आपको, जूनियर को और सीनियर को। ये सिर्फ डांस का बात नहीं है, in any sphere, when a teacher or a student in Guru Sishya Parampara, when you come together, ये एक संजोग की बात होता है, ये एक संजोग की बात होता है, ये ऊपर से तैयार होकर आता है कि this Guru Shishya will come together. Today, when we are looking at students as a teacher, I was a student once, now I am a teacher. When I'm looking at them, when you teach, someone will pick it up like this. 10 minutes में हो जाएगा. Some will take 20 minutes. Some will say, Didi, I will take little more time. I'm going home. I'll practice and I'll show it to you. So as a human being, I should give them time to digest it and come back, show it to me. Not reject someone. क्यों? उसका दिल तो पूरा चला जाएगा, she or he will not be able to gather strength to come up. That when you are teaching, it has to be help those who need little more attention of your, more time or more help to understand something or to execute something. But once you give them time and everything, and they all know, and it is a group production, then probably you will give them characters and places where they deserve to be there. But everyone wants to be at the center stage. So there, a teacher has to be really like a mother or father. One has to sit with the student and explain it to them that if you sit here in my position for this character, who do you choose? Will you deprive someone who can do, that role best? You'll give it to someone who is mediocre, or you'll give it to someone who is doing best, will do justice to that character. He or she will understand. But what I try to do is, okay, this he cannot do. But when I choreograph, whatever little piece I give him or her, I make it little interesting so that she or he thinks, okay, this is something I have to really do well, so that everyone will be able to notice me. So make him or her feel important is an art of a teacher to do that. But the guru also, they are in a fix when they have so many students and there is one solo program which has come to them. They have to suggest one name. There, then they are in a situation where he or she is misunderstood. Whoever you will choose, he'll be happy. Whoever you will not choose, they'll say, my guru is not fair. So this is something you have to accept it, that some people will say, my guru is not fair. She's not kind of equal. She's very partial and things like that. Some who understand you, who understands you, or them who understand you, they will definitely see that she is quality conscious. So these are kind of barriers for gurus. They also face all the time. So don't misunderstand. What I would suggest, the students should have a free discussion, talk, conversation with their own teachers and share, okay, this is what kind of hurts me, or this is what I want to do, I cannot do, this is where I'm not getting the support, Didi, what should I do, where I can fend for myself, I can carry on with my passion and my dance, and what I should do, what I should kind of learn to make myself do better and things like that. It has to be a dialogue with your teachers and with your friends. Sometimes if you have good friends, and sometimes if you have have good rapport with other dancers also. Not the dancers like you are Manipuri dancer, not the Manipuri dancer. If you have some friends in Odissi, Bharatanatyam, so you can share each other problems and can find a solution for yourself. Otherwise, sometimes we misunderstand our student and sometimes the students misunderstand the teachers. So if we want to kind of take away this fence of misunderstanding, then we just have to extend our hand. That hand should be the hand of a teacher, a mother, a sister, a friend. Sometime, just a simple hug can take away the hurt feelings.
मैम आप आज अभी का जो यंग डांसर है, जो अपकमिंग डांसर है, या कोई भी डांसर है, या छोटा हो बड़ा हो, आप कुछ आप मतलब सबको बोलिए जो मतलब उस कौन सा कैसे डांस करे, किसको कैसे, कुछ आपकी तरफ से मैसेज.
See, what message can I give when I am reading messages every day, hundreds and hundreds of messages? All of us are, if we are thinking that all the dancers, performing artists, as if we are sitting on a boat. Okay, boat is the life. So someone is sitting in the front, someone is sitting at the back, someone is sitting in the middle, someone is sitting at the side, someone is sitting on the edge, things like that. Nonetheless, when boat is going, there will be ups and downs and ups and downs. That's the way of life. What we should learn from the life, that today I am there, tomorrow I won't be there. My Guruji was there, my Guruji was not there. His Gurujis were there, not there. The art form will go on. So we are indispensable. We are not important. As long as we are working, we are here today, we can only feel ourselves, our life meaningful by working. Okay. So to the youngsters and to my colleagues and to my friends, all of us, it's the same principle. Love, be happy, live for today, work now, because the now is in your hand, not 5 minutes back, not 5 minutes after. Now, forgive sometime. Don't be judgmental, forgive. But when you work hard, and you should have the courage to be able to beat anyone in this world. That's we call killer instinct. Killer instinct with a sensitive heart, with love in your heart, and dream in your eyes, and strength in your arms to give a hug, and extend your hand to support who is kind of going down. Hold him or her, bring him, and make him stable, and then you walk ahead. We will be much happier. We will create beautiful, art, and the world will be a beautiful place because artists are so beautiful in their mind, in their hearts, with their arts. So let's make this world a beautiful place with our love, with our care, with our warmth, with our smile, and with our big heart. And the great art forms, we are so lucky, we are so fortunate, we are blessed by our gurus, we are skilled by our gurus to do the best, only the best.
मैम एकदम लास्ट में आपकी पास से 2 लाइन गाना सुनना चाहता हूँ।
गाना, आई एम नॉट अ सिंगर, बट गाना तो हर कोई कैन सिंग।
बहुत ही अच्छा है आपका।
अपाणि पादो जवन ग्रहीता पश्यत्य चक्षु शृणोत कर्ण सवेति विश्व न च तस्यास्ति वेत्ता तमाहुरग्रं पुरुषं पुराणं तमाहुरग्रं पुरुषं पुराण तमाहुरग्रं पुरुषं पुराण।
मैम कुछ भी मेरे से गलती हुआ तो आप मुझे क्षमा कर देना, मैं आपसे क्षमा चाहता हूँ, प्रणाम करता हूँ आपको। और इतना सा टाइम जो ऑडियंस हम लोग के थे सबको मैं प्रणाम करता हूँ। कुछ भी बुरा लगा मेरे से आपका बात तो आप सब मुझे क्षमा कर देना। और मैम आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, आपने आए इतना बात मूल्यवान आपका बोला आपने। और ऑडियंस को भी बोल रहा हूँ, मैम का साथ मेरा जो कन्वर्सेशन है आप यूट्यूब में मिलेगा, हम जितना जल्दी हो सके वो यूट्यूब में डाल देंगे। फ्यूचर में आप कभी भी काम करना चाहते हैं मैम का साथ में, या मैम का लाइफ हिस्ट्री जानना चाहते हैं तो थोड़ा बहुत आप लोग को बहुत कुछ मिलेगा। और डायरेक्ट भी आप मैम का साथ जाके मिल सकते हैं मैम, बहुत अच्छा है। और हम भी आगे जाके कोशिश करेंगे कथक, उड़ीसी, भरतनाट्यम ऐसे कुछ गुरुओं को एक पैनल बनाने के लिए। कोई भी जगह में कोई भी स्टूडेंट हो जो गुरु के पास जाके सीखना चाहते हैं, इसके लिए भी मैं सोच रहा हूँ। जैसे मणिपुर से गुरु, उड़ीसी से, उड़ीसा से, भुवनेश्वर, समथिंग डिफरेंट स्टेट से एक एक गुरु को लेके एक ऐसे टीम बनाने के लिए वर्क। उसमें मैं सिर्फ कनेक्टिंग, इसमें मेरा ऐसा नहीं है प्रॉफिट या फीस, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। एज ए आर्टिस्ट मैं सोचता हूँ कोई भी कलाकार हो मैम, चाहे मणिपुरी हो, कथक हो, भरतनाट्यम हो, मैं एक आर्टिस्ट की तरफ से दूसरे आर्टिस्ट को, दूसरे कलाकार को मैं हेल्प करना चाहता हूँ। वही है मेरा उद्देश्य। मैं आपको क्षमा चाहता हूँ मैम। आप बहुत अच्छा से रहे, बहुत खुश रहे, बहुत अच्छा रहे। कभी हम मिलेंगे। थैंक यू।
Thank you. Thank you, viewers.